welcome to the Great Author Show, and I'm your host, Dr. Anthony L. Gann, here on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart Station, and we are here again another week, another Thursday, where we share and expose another author to you from around the country, around the world, so that you can actually know some good books that are available that you can purchase and get smarter. I'm Dr. Anthony L. Gann, and uh, let me share with you some of our sponsors that we have. One of our sponsors, Love to Learn Center. They handle all of the workshops and classes that we have. Another is Helping People Win. They handle the seminars and showcases. UnknownGreatness.com. If you're looking for a book from some independent authors, and also my books are there as well, you can go there and purchase them and follow them as well on some of the social media spots. And coming this fall, we have Achieving Lasting Greatness, the Academy, the online school that will be launched. And we will have several different classes on that particular platform. Also, look for us on Mondays at 6 o'clock p.m. on Central Standard Time when we have the Great Entrepreneur Show. And we'll be interviewing another entrepreneur. And also on Sundays, a Greater You Show at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. You'll see me there, and I'll be teaching on healthy relationships this month. So you can get the book from unknowngreatness.com as well. Some of our promotional partners, if you're looking for a good accountant, you want to contact Madison Financial Solutions, Carla Madison. She does taxes, insurance, and also education on finances. You can reach her at C Madison at MFS4, the number 4, U.com. C Madison, MFS4U.com. She's at 9901 Southwestern Suite 205, Chicago, Illinois, 60643. Her phone number is 773-239-6100. If you're looking to travel or looking on your own travel business, you can contact Emmett Farmer. He's at Surge 365. You can reach him at 773-908-9425, 773-908-9425. If you're looking to buy, sell some property, home, first home, second home, condo, any of those things, you want to contact Pam Boone. She's at Option Realty. Her number is 773-447-8546. Again, that's 773-447-8546. Or you can email her at pam@keepitmoving.us. Looking to order you some business cards or create a website for $249. For your website, you can get 2,500 business cards if you let them know that you heard it from me or heard it from one of the shows, and that is Digital Works, and you can reach them at www.digitalworks.com, or you can reach them at 773-239-2646, 773-239-2646, and you can ask for Bryant, and he will take care of you. Just say that you mentioned it from here, and he will take care of you and with your business card. 2,500, that's a lot of cards. You got to go out and do a lot of work, pass those out. Our last promotion partner for this particular show is BW Publishing, and they're at 15525 South Park Avenue, Suite 114, South Holland, Illinois, 60473. You can reach Ben Williams. He's at ben@bwpublishing.com, and that's 708-746-4688, 708-746-4688. So those are our promotional partners for this particular show for this evening. Contact them, tell them you heard it from Dr. Gann here on the show, and they will definitely take care of you, and they do respond. So these people do get back in contact with you. So tonight, see, that's the appetizer, so you know we had to go through our appetizer there. And now we're in for the main course, the meal of the evening. And we have Monique Caradine. And you see her picture on the screen there too if you're looking at it via YouTube or IntellectualRadio.com. Oh, forgot to mention as well, make sure you hit the subscribe button there on YouTube.com, and you'll be notified of not just only this show, but many other shows, 50 shows on this station on a weekly basis. So you'll be notified of all of those. So we have her now on the show. Monique Caradine, are you there?
I am here, Dr. Gann. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Monique. I appreciate you being on the show.
It is my pleasure to be with you. You have been an influence in my life So I feel like this is a full circle moment. So thank you so much for having me here.
Well, thank you, thank you. You interviewed me years ago when, uh, back in Chicago when you was running everything in Chicago. Now you're running everything in Puerto Rico.
And I was running everything in Chicago. I heard that. Yes, indeed. I remember that vividly, and I remember the conversation we had. At that point, you had written, oh my goodness, several books. I had not written a book then yet,
Hmm.
but you had written, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 books at that point.
Yeah, I think I had like 8 then. Yeah, at that time.
And I was blown away by that, and I said, wow, and you told me, you shared with me, and I appreciated the fact that you were so generous, how you did it, why you did it, and how you were making it work for you. And I never forgot that conversation. I really didn't.
Okay.
And so I use that as inspiration for the work that I've done in this book that we're going to talk about tonight. So I need to say thank you again for being so generous with your wisdom.
Oh wow, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate those kind words. Appreciate it very much. So let's ask first because some people may not know who you are and what you do. So who is Monique Caradine?
Well, the folks in Chicago may remember Monique Caradine from my days at WVON Radio. I started at WVON Radio as the youngest midday talk show host back in the late 1990s. And I worked there for many, many years up through the early 2000s. So I really kind of cut my teeth in the broadcasting industry at WVON. I also worked at various other, outlets, Fox News Chicago. They had a affiliate on Channel 50, where I worked as the host of the show called Perspective. It was a community affairs show. So people in Chicago may remember me from my time in TV and radio there. I also really started out as a speaker in Chicago, but in 2013 or 14, my family and I moved from Chicago to the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. And so we have been here in Puerto Rico for almost 6 years now, and we have enjoyed every aspect of our lives here. Most of you know that in 2017, Puerto Rico was hit with a devastating hurricane.
Right.
And that was life-changing for us indeed. We suffered a lot of damage, like most people here in Puerto Rico, damage to our home, trauma to our lives overall. But God's grace is just so amazing. We were able to, get the house put back together again. We were never displaced. And we've been here ever since. And since we moved here to Puerto Rico, I should point out that I have not been in broadcasting like I was in Chicago, but I have grown my coaching business, where I work with African American women primarily, helping them to create more money and wealth in their lives and their businesses so that they don't have to stress about money or worry about money or chase after money. And I show them how to really make money and still have the freedom that they desire so that they can do the things that they love. So that's what I've been up to since we've been here.
Oh wow, that's good. Sound like a whole lot. Sound like you've done quite a bit. And
oh man, I'm loving life. I really am. I didn't want to come to Puerto Rico because I have my career and everything, and my name recognition in Chicago.
Right.
So I kind of fought it, but my husband really wanted to come. And you know how it is when you're married, you got to compromise. And I truly believe that this was one of the best decisions we've ever made.
Oh wow, that's great. That's great. That's good to hear. So hopefully that inspires some people if they want to make a move or something like that to do so, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I hope it does. Go and be where you're happy, where you find joy, peace, security, and it doesn't hurt that it's a beautiful place that we call our own little paradise.
I like that. I like that. So let's talk about the book that you written, and I like the title, "How to Embrace Your Inner Millionaire." I'm sure it's attractive, and a lot of people. I'm sure they get attracted. Millionaire.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they sure do. They love that.
Right. So how did you start? How did you come up with this book, How to Embrace the Millionaire? What was the seed that was planted for you to make this happen?
Well, the seed that was planted for me, Dr. Gant, was that, as I mentioned, I'm a coach and I work with women around money. My desire is to see women all over the world, particularly African American women. I want to get us into a place where we can fix our relationship with money so that we can stop worrying about it, stop stressing over it, and stop chasing after it, and finally manifest more than enough of it. And I've had the pleasure of helping hundreds of women develop a foundation for lasting wealth through my step-by-step coaching programs. But this really was born out of the work that I started out doing for women, finding out, Dr. Gant, that even though I've worked with so many women who are they have hearts of servants, they love to empower people, to help people, to serve people. But I was finding out as I was starting this work that even though we work hard as women, and even though we have, these incredible dreams and goals that we want to create that really, will allow us to change the world, I was finding out that a lot of women, even with all that, just were not making the kind of money that they were worthy of. They did not have a solid savings account. They did not have a legacy of wealth that they could leave behind for their children. They also were not always in situations that made them happy, that fed their souls. And so moving here to Puerto Rico for me was extremely enlightening because I began to discover that, in spite of what I learned growing up, which is you have to work really, 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 really hard for all of your life before you can take a break. I learned by moving here that you can work less while making more money. I mean, moving here for me was a game changer. So when I moved here, that was a breakthrough. And I was like, wow, I really got to show other women that they can do this too. And so while I decided to call the book How to Embrace Your Inner Millionaire, once you read it, you'll discover that it's not just about making seven figures. That's nice. And you can use these tools that I share with you to do that. But more than anything, you have to embrace your inner millionaire, which means that you basically have to see yourself as healthy and wealthy and abundant, even before that actually manifests itself. And once you see yourself as such, then you begin to attract the money, the opportunities, the clients, job offers that will get you to that point.
I like that. So let's talk about that, because obviously I'm coming from a male perspective when I say this. And I like the fact that you're empowering women because I have a daughter, right? So, I mean, I want her to be an empowered woman, right?
Right.
And as I've gotten older, I realize how sometimes not having a grasp on money that some people, women, when they get a little bit older, they probably compromise. I'm using the word compromise to their detriment.
Yes.
They probably, because now they need to, I'm 55 and 60. I kind of like to need to, I need to kind of connect with whoever. Somebody got to be my come up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and nothing's wrong with that, but sometimes they get themselves connected with some bad people or some, but hey, I got to be nice to him because he got the money. Or, he been on the job for 25 years and he retired in 6 years and I'm 54. Right? And he 58. So you know what I'm saying? I need some security.
Right.
And that's not saying anything negative about people, but I've noticed that as I've gotten older, that if they had known some things about money themselves, then maybe they don't get with that particular person.
Yes.
Maybe they don't stay in an abusive relationship because
right.
of, I don't have any money, and so I got to stay with the guy. So I
Oh
like the
my
way
goodness.
you said empowering women. So um, let's get it. So because something kind of struck me that looked very impressive, and I want you to share with the audience. You said the inner millionaire. So when you say inner millionaire, what are you saying to me or to the audience when you say that?
Okay, great question. Great question to start. So, your inner millionaire has to do with your money mindset. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Your mindset, your money mindset has to do with what ideas, beliefs, thoughts come up for you when I talk to you about money. Because let's face it. I mean, you and I both, Dr. Gann, have heard people say, when we get at the family reunion or wherever, church after church or whatever the case might be, we have been in a room where people have said things like, "Oh man, my money is tight, man," or "Oh, I'm broke," or "I got to count my pennies," or we're in a sluggish economy right now. My money is funny. All those phrases that we've heard about money growing up have really come from the things that we have heard our mothers, our grandmothers say, our family members say, the people that we're surrounded with. All of those ideas that they have shared about money have affected what we believe about money today. And so what I'm saying in this book, Dr. Gann, is that we have got to stop allowing our mothers and our grandmother's beliefs about money to keep us broke. Because while mom and grandma and them and big mama and everybody else may have struggled, and oftentimes from the Black experience, that's our story, that we saw our mothers and fathers struggle. I mean, I saw my mom and dad work 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet. I saw how my grandmother worked until late in life, had to actually get up and go to work to make ends meet. And so while they had to do that back then, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's how we have to do it. So the inner millionaire has to do with the story about money that you tell yourself that hopefully addresses the person who you are today and not who your mother was 50 years ago. Okay.
I like that.
So what do I mean by that? There are a lot of rumors floating around here about money, a whole lot of rumors. And some of those rumors speak to what I just said, the sluggish economy. You got to live paycheck to paycheck. You got to do this to make money. You got to work hard. You're never going to get rich until you commit to working 80 hours a week. All of those are rumors. Mm-hmm. And once we stop believing those rumors and start truly stepping into the truth about money, then you will begin to see your money begin to change and begin to grow. And you'll begin to see yourself being able to make money easily. Because there are 4 people, Dr. Gann, 4 types of people who attract money easily. Do you want me to tell you what those 4 types of people are?
Yeah, tell us who those 4 people. Yeah, we want to know who that is.
Okay, so the 4 types of people who attract money easily, because the truth is there is no shortage of money in this world. I want y'all to make a note of that. Write it down, jot it down on a piece of paper, put it in your phone if you need to, whatever you got to do. I want you to know there is no shortage of money in the world. There's plenty of cash out there, enough to keep all of our pockets full. And by you being rich does not mean that somebody else has to suffer. So there are 4 types of people to whom money is flowing abundantly throughout the world. The first type of person is the person who understands it. The person who understands it. Write that down. You got to understand how money works, honey. You got to understand that it's not just work, earn money, pay bills, buy stuff, and be broke again. If you really want to embrace your inner millionaire and get on the path to abundance, you got to elevate your knowledge about money. And you got to know that you have the ability right now to make money while you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You have the ability, and you've tapped into some of this stuff already, Dr. Gann.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know that you don't always have to be present at a job, at an office to make money.
That's true.
You see, people who effortlessly make large amounts of money have mastered some of the universal laws of saving, investing, and giving. Generosity is key when you want to really unleash your inner millionaire. And in order to gain that understanding, you've got to really study money. Don't buy into all the old school beliefs about money. But what I'm saying is that people need to unlock the spiritual wisdom around money, because those spiritual mysteries, if you will, are the ways that you'll really tap into it. And one of those mysteries, one of those universal laws is being generous and giving. So you got to really understand how money works. So people who understand it get money. The second type of person who gets money, lots of it, is the person who respects money. Here's the question. Is your money crumpled up in your wallet or your purse? Do you lose track of your money? Do you ignore your bank account and not really track what comes in and what goes out? When you can respect what you have, even though it may not be a lot,
mm-hmm.
you will begin to attract abundance. Okay. So the third type of person, I'm gonna move through this quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The third type of person that is attracting money effortlessly right now today is the person that is not afraid of it. We've got this fear around money. It's something that's embedded in our culture as Black people, because we were taught, some of us, that money is the root of all evil. We got all of these weird sayings and beliefs around money.
Right.
And so that has caused us to have some fear. But we've got to understand that if you make money, you do not have to fear that you're going to leave somebody else behind or disempower somebody in your family, or, get seen as a snob or somebody that's evil by your big mama. Like, none of that's actually going to happen,
mm-hmm.
So we've got to be willing to say to ourselves, this year, I am going to make $250,000 in income. Now, that may be a huge jump from where you are right now, but you've got to at least be willing to say it, because once you can say it, now you can sit down and plot the strategy to help you get there. Now, it takes, sometimes it takes the work of a coach, someone like me, that's why I got certified, 2 coaching certifications, so I can help you release any fears or doubts that may come up when I say to you, yes, you can be a millionaire within the next 18 months. Let me show you how. Let me show you what you need to let go of in order to do that. Let me show you what ideas and beliefs you need to embrace to make that happen. Yes, you can be debt-free. I don't care that you got $300,000 in debt. You can be debt-free within the next year. So once we can release our fear around money, we can begin to see these things happen. And the fourth type of person who is making money effortlessly, this goes back to what I said earlier, is the person who is generous with their money. I used to think that you should be tight with your money back in the day. If you didn't have enough, you got to make sure you're tight with it. Don't give it away. If somebody asks you for some money, no, I don't have no extra money. Money is tight. No, money is not tight. Because when you can give, oh my goodness, I could teach on this all day. I get excited. When you can give, even when it feels like you don't have enough to, that's called planting a seed. And sowing seeds is a universal law, because what happens when you sow a seed? Whenever you sow a seed, you're always going to reap or harvest more than what you sowed or planted. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm.
So I can go into this and we can talk all day, but just to summarize, the 4 type of people, real quick. The first type is the person who understands money, understands how it works, understands how to use it, etc. The second type of person who attracts money effortlessly is the person who respects it. You got to make sure that you're organized with your money, aware of what's coming in and what's going out. You've got to respect your money and treat it like you would a person that you're in a relationship with, okay? The third type of person is the person who's not afraid of it. Don't be afraid to think about and talk about 6 and 7 figures. And the fourth type of person is the person who is generous with it. I can quote scriptures on that. I can quote all kinds of fancy, beautiful quotes. But if you really want to unlock your wealth, you've got to give even when it feels like you don't have it to give.
I like that. You know, something else I like the 4 people you talked about, 4 types. And you had a quote at the beginning of your book. Before you focus on X number of ways to become wealthy, you must first come to the terms with why you are not already that way. I mean, I think that's powerful. You know, before you focus on X number of ways to become wealthy, you must first come to terms with why you are not already that way.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. I want everybody to just take a moment right now and look at where you are in your money. Okay, just look at it. Just look at it for a second. Don't judge it. Don't start saying bad things about yourself. Man, I should have done this or that. Just look at it. Right?
Right.
And the reason I want you to just look at it is because a lot of times you find people that's looking for a way to get rich quick and and you go into these different schemes and programs and this and that, and none of it ever works. And it's because we don't stop and just say, okay, why am I not already rich? I've worked constantly, maybe I'm 50 plus years old, whatever the case might be, and I'm still not where I want to be. Stop for a second and just think about it. What are your beliefs? Are you still holding on to what your mom believed and your grandma believed? Have you not been generous? We got to start there. And then once we can break down why we're not already wealthy, then we can reverse engineer our money and get to where we want to be.
I like that. I like that. That's good, Monique. I want to ask you a question too. When you said something in the book on in step 4, because you have 8 steps here, and you have up level your inner circle. So, what do you mean by that? Up level your inner circle. What do you mean by that?
Oh, that one is so good. Basically, what that means is that if you want to reach a certain level of wealth, and this applies to anything, it applies to you if you want to be in a good, healthy relationship. You've got to be around other good, healthy relationships. If you want to be a better parent, you've got to surround yourself with people who are good parents. If you want to be a great football player, right? You've got to have other great football players or a great football coach to help you get there. Like, you've got to be around the people who are going to pull you closer to where you want to be. And so if you want to become a millionaire, if you want to change your money situation, why would you hang around people who broke? It just doesn't make sense. It makes no sense if you're trying to be a millionaire for you to hang around the broke jokers that's always saying, man, I'm just out here trying to make ends meet. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
And so I really challenge people in that chapter. And by the way, this book is really short. I call it a bite-sized book. You can literally read this book in a couple of hours, if that.
Right.
It's just that succinct. But in that chapter that you talked about, chapter 4, up level your inner circle, it talks about how there is a high cost to spending so much time in the presence of what I call money strugglers. I talk about the fact that these folks, they don't mean any harm, but by being consistently exposed to their money drama, that's going to discourage you in your attempts from taking wealth building risks. So you hanging around a dude that's always talking about making ends meet, you're going to be less likely to go out there and invest in a franchise or, and stop spending so much money on eating out. You're going to be less likely to do the things that will get you to where you want to go. And so the solution to that is that you've got to make sure. I'm not saying you got to disown those people because they're your homies, they from the block, whatever, that's fine. I'm just saying limit your time. You need to be going to seminars. You need to be going to workshops. You need to be asking people who have reached the level that you want to get to, asking them to mentor you. Get around people with some big ideas, some big goals, people who are doing things, people who are taking bold steps toward their vision and their future. Get around them and spend the majority of your time with them, because you will be amazed at just how being in the energy of someone who is thriving financially will literally change your whole mindset. It did for me. I walked into that room when I went to my first mastermind retreat. I went to Phoenix. Was it Phoenix? I think, no, it was Tucson, Arizona. Mm-hmm. And I went to a retreat. I invested a lot of money to be in a room with one of my first money coaches, as well as the community of women that were attracted to her message. And when I walked into that room, oh my God, it was a game changer. I was surrounded by women who, because of my background in media and marketing and all the things that I did, they were immediately intrigued by what I did. They were immediately willing to invest in my service. And the other thing was they were so willing to share generously their knowledge that they had with me. And that's what happens when you get around different people. That's what happens when you up-level your inner circle. So I want to encourage everybody, okay, once we finish this interview, I want you to literally identify a person that you want to reach out to. I want you to find their email address, their phone number, or their website. And I want you to reach out to them. And I want you to literally say to them, introduce yourself, say, hi, my name is, whatever your name is, and you're a person that I really admire for the work that you do. And I would really, really appreciate it if you would allow me to interview you for 15 minutes or have lunch with you or have a cup of coffee with you, because I want to learn how to do X, Y, and Z. I dare you to do that with one person, just one. It would change your life.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Monique, because one thing I've noticed, and I'm sure you can attest to this, the higher you go up with people, the more freely they are in information.
Yes.
I know some people think, well, people trying to keep information from me, and they don't want to let another guy get up to the next level. Like you say, up level your inner circle. Once you get around certain people, they don't mind sharing with you what they did, what they do. This is a good seminar. This is a good coach. This is a good book, a good program. Look at this guy or this lady on YouTube. Call this person up. They would just hand out all this information. It really becomes overwhelming because they give you so much information. You taking so many notes and so many phone numbers, and they say, wait, call this guy too. Call this lady. Call this person. And you're like, wow. So you get a lot of information. So I agree with you there 100%.
Absolutely. I recently went to San Diego, and I invested in coaching with Lisa Nichols, who is incredible. She's most people know her from The Secret. And I invested in coaching with her, and I traveled all the way to San Diego from Puerto Rico. And when I tell you, this woman who is globally known was generous beyond belief. So I agree 100%. The higher up you go in terms of people who have achieved a high level of success, I totally agree with you 100%. the higher you go, the more generous they are, because they're not trying to withhold anything. They understand what I just talked about earlier, that when you share and you are generous, then you get more back to you. So they're gonna overload you with information and to help you get to where you want to go, because that in turn not only helps you, but it helps them. And most of the time they're service driven anyway, so they want to help you. Mm-hmm. So yes, totally, 100% agree.
Yeah, and you said something else in the book. I know I'm kind of skipping, but in step 8, you have in there, create your own economy.
Yes.
So when you say create your own economy, I'm looking at the show, listening to Monique, and create my own economy. I mean, don't I have to go by the economy when they say on television, the economy? What do you mean by create your own economy?
Yeah, I thought that too. Yeah. So I'm doing a coaching program right now. In fact, it just started tonight. I had my first session right before I got on with you. Mm-hmm. And it's called You Are a Gold Mine. Okay. Okay, so let's start there. You are a gold mine. Anthony Gant is a gold mine. Mm-hmm. How do I know you're a gold mine? Because you got, how many books you got now, Dr. Gant?
21.
21 books. Oh my God. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. So you are a gold mine, just evidenced by the amount of books that you published. Okay. So that's the first step. But let's take that a step deeper. Mm-hmm. You are a gold mine. You can easily create your own economy, and you actually already have, because you can take any one of those 21 books and you can break those books down, and you can do workshops, training programs, you can host seminars, you can get on stages and do speeches, you can do an online course. So you can literally do at least 5 different things with each one of those books. Now, if that's not your own economy, I don't know what is. Now, so most people think, okay, you write a book, you sell it, your book costs $10 or $15 or $20 per book. Okay, and that's how I make my money. But no, the way I make money is, heck, if you want my book, How to Embrace Your Inner Millionaire, you can have it when you come to my workshop. And if you come to my workshop, you're going to pay at least $99 minimum. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? So I'm not out here hawking $20 books.
That's right.
I'm getting people into a room between $99 all the way as much as $1,500 or more in some cases.
Right.
So a $20 book, why would I waste my time selling that? I'd rather get you into my $1,500 workshop where I can personally walk you through each chapter in this book and help you literally unleash your inner millionaire and help you create 7 figures in your life.
That's good.
Within the next 18 months. That's what I would rather do. So I've created my own economy. And the reason I did that, I'll tell you this is extremely important. I loved working at WVON. Okay. Anybody who knows me knows that that was my dream opportunity. And I'm grateful to this day. I'm grateful to everybody that believed in me enough to give me that opportunity. But I got to be totally honest with you and your audience right now, Dr. Gant. When I got my paycheck once every 2 weeks after I had written the news, booked a show, hosted a live show, did it without a script, researched for hours and hours and hours on end. Then after I got off the air, I would have to go and do voiceovers and do appearances and all these extra things. I would look at my check and I'll be like, dang, after all that work, this all I get? Are you serious?
Right.
No offense against my boss, because I love her. To this day, she's my sister.
Right.
But I would look at that check and I'd be like, damn, like I've literally done the job of 3 people and this is what I get. Right. So I would look at that check and I could have easily said, man, I'm out of here. I'm going to go get a job that pays me more. But no, I didn't do that because I loved my job. Right. So what I did instead is I said, let me see. Let me look at my skills. Let me look at my talent. Let me look at my expertise. and let me look and see how I can help other people with this while keeping my job. So all of a sudden, somebody said, Monique, I need some media training. I need you to help me know how to go on the radio shows and really give a great interview. So I said, man, all of a sudden now, I got a media training consultancy opportunity. So now I'm doing media training. Then somebody comes to me and said, hey, Monique, I really need to get more publicity for my nonprofit organization. Can you help me? So now all of a sudden I'm helping somebody do publicity. That's another piece of income coming in. Then I said, hey, I'm doing these voiceovers for the radio station for free. There's probably some companies that'll pay for me to put my voice to their commercials. So bam, now all of a sudden I'm doing commercials. So I got media training and I started working with some of the top magazines in the country, like Inc. magazine, Black Enterprise magazine. I'm doing media training for their editors so that when they go on CNN or Fox News or MSNBC, they come across with personality and vitality and interest. So I got media training, publicity, voiceover. Whoa, all of a sudden I've created 3 additional income streams while still getting that paycheck from the radio station. I created my own economy.
That's good. That's good. And that's real good, because hopefully people that's listening and watching, they would understand that you said the magic word. You said, where's my expertise? Right. Sometimes some people, they're not expert at anything, right? They need to get expert in something. And that's what up level in the inner circle, because they can get around a Monique Caradine, and then they can get expert in something. They can get their skills set up, and then they can actually use that to actually help bring in some money. I always say, Monique, that your skill sets will help you get financially set.
That's right.
Because like you just said, even though I was working at the job, now I'm doing these other 3 businesses, so to speak, with people all over the country. You went from, local, and right when you started using your skill set, you went to national.
Exactly.
I mean, to me, that's big. Like, I went from over here in this section of the city or the country or whatever, and then all of a sudden I started to use these skill sets, and then I just went 50 states wide. That's big. I like that.
No, yeah, it is. It is. But again, like you said, you got to be around the right people. You got to be around people who believe in you. You got to be around people who be like, girl, you crazy for thinking you can do that. Don't be around them. You got to be around people that say, wow, that is a great idea. Go for it. Right. And for me, that was my family. My mom and dad was like, oh, you going to New York to go and train the editors of Black Enterprise? Wow, that's amazing. Do it. And so I created this economy, and then it continued to expand from there. Because once I left radio and I started speaking on stages, and women started to come to me, sometimes in tears, saying, oh my God, what you said resonated with me so much. What can I do to stay connected to you? Can you mentor me? Can I work with you? Do you have a training or a workshop or a course? The light bulb went off and said, dang, I need to be able to help these women. And that's how I became a coach. I had to go and get training, because if I'm going to coach you, I want to know what the heck I'm doing and do it right and do it well. So I kept investing in myself. Okay, follow me. I have spent tens of thousands of dollars investing in my brilliance, investing in my expertise, in training, in coaches, working with the top coaches in the nation. To work with Lisa Nichols is not cheap. I have to invest in me. But now that I'm working with Lisa Nichols, I can come on with Dr. Anthony Gant and help his audience expand and see their possibilities, so that you can know that you do not have to stay stuck in a job that you hate just because it gives you a paycheck. That I guarantee you that what you know and have learned over the years, you can turn that into something, a book, a workshop, a course, a speech. And you can make what you make in 2 weeks or a month, you can make that in one day.
That's true. That's true. When you say that, and I just want to validate what you said. When you and I met, I watched you on TV. I think you came on Sundays. And I
Mhm.
watched you for a number. I think you was on there. Well, I don't know how long you was on there. I know I watched you for a couple of years before you and I met.
Mhm.
And we met because you were teaching authors how to get into the media.
Yeah.
And someone had told me about that. Monique is doing this thing. So I ended up calling you and
Mhm.
you said, yeah, come on by. It was Saturday at 3 o'clock, whatever it was. And that's where you and I met. So I wanted the audience to hear that you didn't just make that story up. You were actually doing that. That's how I
Yes.
met you, because I seen you on television doing that. And then you were doing other things, like you said, the media, teaching people how to get in the media and things of that
Mhm.
nature. And you had another workshop going. And that was just one workshop you had going on at that time. Because
Oh my God.
when you and I talked, you had, like you said, you were doing other things as well.
Yes.
So I mean, I just want to validate that with the audience. Sometimes people think, oh, maybe I don't see that now. She's this big. She didn't never
Oh
do it that
man.
way. But yeah, you did.
No,
Hmm.
I did. I would always try different things. I'm so grateful that I had the courage to step out and try some. I said, let me see if people will pay $47 for my workshop,
Hmm.
and they will pay it. I said, okay, let me see if people will pay $200 for a workshop, and they will pay it. Let me see if I can do a $300 workshop and then make an offer for my $1,000, private coaching program, and they would do it.
Hmm.
And I'm just, it will blow my mind every time when I was starting out. Now, and all I was doing, Dr. Gantt, is I was taking what I knew from my career, from my training, from my experience, and giving it to other people. I would package it up, and I'm pretty good at that.
Hmm.
And I would give it to other people. And I would show them, how do you get on TV? What do you say when you get on TV? How do you get them to invite you back to be on TV again? I'm giving you everything I know. But what it comes at a price. A lot of people want to take you out for a coffee and pick your brain. And I'm like, you can't pick my brain because it costs too much. If you really want to know what I know, and I do want to give it to you, I'll mentor girls in college. I'll mentor, my interns. They'll come and they'll learn from me. I don't have no problem with that. But if you are at a certain level, you cannot pick my brain. You have to make an investment. And the investment is not in me. The investment is in yourself. When I work with women, when I coach women, I don't ask them to invest in me. I ask them to be willing and have the courage to invest in themselves. Because you're at this point right now, you've gotten yourself as far as you can go. How much is you getting to your next step and ultimately your goal? How much is that actually worth to you? Do you want to spend 5, 10 more years trying to figure it out on your own, making costly mistakes along the way?
Hmm.
Or do you want to work with a coach? And I'm not even talking about me. I'm talking about anybody.
Right.
Because the first coach I invested in was a Tony Robbins coach,
Hmm.
because I had gotten myself to as far as I could go.
Hmm.
And I said, I need help.
Right.
So I invested in a coach. And that was a game changer because that was my first coach. And she was just an okay coach. But she did kind of change the game for me because I began to see what was possible.
Hmm.
And I said, dang, she did that for me and she was just okay. I would love to be able to do that for other people. So, I mean, it's just so much that we could talk about. But my God, my deepest desire, Dr. Gantt, and this has been consistent since before I met you, is to help people understand the power that is within them so that they can leverage that power, give it out to the world, make money while they do it so that they never have to worry about their kids, never have to worry about, can my kids pay for college? Are my kids going to have debt? Where are my kids going to live when they graduate from college? What's going to happen to my aging parents? What's going to happen? I want to be able to give to my church or these organizations that I love. Like, I don't want people to have to worry about none of that. I want your kids to have a trust fund, a car and a house waiting for them once they graduate. Money is something should happen to me if I pass away unexpectedly. I want my grandkids, who I don't even know, ain't even born.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to have something because of the work and the investment that I made. I want my great, great, great grandkids. I want generations after me to not have to worry about money, because I believe that it is time for us to break this curse of lack and poverty and scarcity in the Black community. And I believe that the only way that we can begin to do that is we change our money mindset. And that's what I've tried to write about in this book that we're talking about today.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, Monique, tell us how we can get the book. Where do we go to get the book from you, and how we can get in touch with you as well if we had to be coach and speaking opportunities and all that.
All that. Okay, great. Well, it's been a pleasure to be with you. As I said earlier, you were one of my early inspirations to finally get the thoughts out of my head and into the book.
Thank you.
The book is currently available on my website. You can go to www.myinnermillionaire.com. That's www.myinnermillionaire.com. And you can get the book. It'll be delivered to your doorstep via priority mail. You'll get it within the next 3 days or so. And it's really a fun book to read. You can read it in a couple of hours. I even give you resources on the website, little free workshops, trainings. I tell you how you can have an inner millionaire mixer if you want to get together some friends. If you got a book club, y'all can get together and read it and share it, talk about some of the ideas. And I love to pop in on some of those book club conversations via, Skype or, FaceTime or whatever. So go to myinnermillionaire.com and get the book. And people can always find me on all my social media platforms. I'm mainly on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Just type in my name, Monique Caradine.
That's great. Thank you, Monique. I mean, you gave a lot of good information. I definitely want people to get in touch with you. Now, if I want you to speak at an event or, our groups and all these things, how do people get in contact with you about that? And because you do come out and speak to people, right?
Oh, yeah. And I'll be in Chicago again in July with some availability for speaking. And I'm going on a kind of a world tour this summer. So hitting a couple of major cities, including Nairobi, Kenya, as well as London in the UK and some cities in the States as well. So if people want to reach me for speaking, they can reach me via email. mcaradine@gmail.com is my best email. Or you can just, again, find me on Facebook, and you can instant message me on Facebook. Just type in Monique Caradine and you'll see me there.
Okay, sounds good. Monique, I really do appreciate you taking time with me and the audience and sharing the inner millionaire that we all have in us. And I want people to gather that book and get those 8 steps, because they are awesome and they'll help you out quite a bit. So, Monique, I really do appreciate it. We definitely with Stephanie stay in contact with you. And we look forward to some more great things that you have coming up as well.
Thank you. Continued success to you, Dr. Gann. Thanks for having me on your program.
Thank you, Monique. You have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, that was awesome. That was Monique Caradine again, embracing the inner millionaire. Great, a lot of information. I always take notes when I interview people. So, I'm writing down notes the whole time. I feel like I'm in class. So everybody teach me something. At least I try to learn a whole lot from everybody. But how to embrace your inner millionaire, I think you can get, you get a lot of good information out of that book. We'll be back here next Thursday. Same time, same place, Intellectual Radio, and we'll be interviewing another author. I interview authors from all over the country. If you want to be interviewed about your book, I'm usually 2 months ahead. So if you see me now and say, "Oh, I'm gonna try to be on there next week," probably 2 months from now, whenever you see me, and that I will be able to have a spot available for you. If you want to be, if you're an entrepreneur, you want to be interviewed on the Monday show on the Great Entrepreneurs, the same thing still apply. But get with me, and then we'll definitely lock you in, and you can be in some future dates as well. Also, check us out on Sunday at 1:00 in the afternoon, a Greater You show. I'll be doing the teaching this month on being in healthy relationships. out of the book is great. You can go to unknowngreatness.com and purchase that book as well. And remember, you can go to Spreaker.com and you can download shows here on Intellectual Radio. If you're at work and sometimes you can't look at the show live, you can download it and save it and look at it at another time. You can do it on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your computer, any type of device you have, and you can be kept abreast and you can follow your favorite hosts here and the favorite shows all the time. Also, go to YouTube and you hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified every time a show comes on. And we have 50 shows here, Intellectual Radio, on a weekly basis. So you can find a whole lot of people that you can like, not just during the day, in the evening, during the week, on the weekend. So we have a lot of good things going on here. So we'd like you to stay involved and stay connected with it. So keep in mind that great authors aren't born, they're made. And I'll see you next time.